Peace, y'all. This is José James, and you're now listening and watching to Stay Tuned TV.
Bonjour à tous, j'espère que vous allez bien. Vous êtes sur Stay Tuned, bien évidemment. Nouveau numéro, nouvelle émission avec my man, Mr. José James.
Yes, sir.
Are you fine?
Yeah. I'm good.
Nice
I'm
to
good.
see you.
You too, man.
I love your music.
Thank you.
Yeah. Alors, José, tu es artiste jazz, moderne jazz plutôt, entre soul, rap. Tu es aussi fils d'un saxophoniste panaméen et tu as sorti 3 albums. Alors, le premier, c'est The Dreamer. Le deuxième, Black Magic, et le nouveau qui arrive, No Beginning, No End. Ton album s'appelle No Beginning, No End. Est-ce que c'est une façon en fait de dire que tu continues ta lancée, tu continues ton chemin?
Actually, it's cool that you say that because nobody has seen it that way. That's true. That's definitely true. I see it as a part 2 from The Dreamer because that was my first album that I produced fully. And Giles Peterson was the advisor, you know. Mm-hmm. It was like my big brother for the album, you know, with suggestions, but I was able to produce the sound and run the sessions. Same for this one. So this really feels like The Dreamer was my jazz album, and this was like my artist album. And for me, No Beginning, No End, when I started writing it, really meant that I wanted to erase all the boundaries between the blocks in my mind, you know, saying like, well, this is jazz and this is hip hop and this is soul. I wanted to just write music and not worry about how it sounded or if it was going to sell or what it was going to do in each world of genre. So that's how the album came together, and that's how I was able to work with artists like Hindi Zahra and Takuya Kuroda in Japan, and you know, singer-songwriters like Emily King, all in one album.
Trouble in me, we got to try and figure out some kind of way to go that we know. Trouble it meet me every time I step around the way your dangers flow. Yeah. So we can let it go. Say, I need someone like you to understand my.
C'est pour ça en fait que cet album est beaucoup plus épuré et qu'il sonne moins hip-hop et beaucoup plus soul finalement.
I think so because I wanted to go kind of even further back to where hip-hop got its sound in a way, because all the 90s hip-hop sampled from records. And I was listening to like a lot of Roberta Flack, for example, Donny Hathaway. I love that analog sound. So I didn't want to necessarily make a hip hop album, but I wanted it to have the original sound of those albums that they had sampled. But then again, with Chris Dave on drums, there's some, you know, the hip hop in it. So, you know, it's all kind of connected through Voodoo, working with Pino, and that kind of style. But I didn't want to kind of get labeled as, okay, now this is just a urban hip hop neo soul album either. I wanted it to be broader than that.
Talking nonsense in the park, I see a man sitting there with a newspaper on his head. I think he would be down for me to tell him that he been waiting around here for all of his life.
Quand on écoute ton album, parce que je crois que tu as parlé de Voodoo, D'Angelo, parce qu'il y a le bassiste, c'est ça,
Pino, Palladino.
On sent en fait des similitudes un petit peu au niveau du son entre des Voodoo, même Roy Hargrove, au niveau des drums, au niveau de l'esprit. C'est forcément des albums qui t'ont influencé.
Absolutely. I think that's, the most important R&B album that was made in my time. You know what I mean? And so many things have come from that album that are so influential, but in a way haven't been investigated. So, the whole J Dilla behind the beat playing, using jazz chords, and using a cool kind of Latin thing. The cool musical phrases, it's a very musical album. Everybody talks about the rhythm, but the way D'Angelo's playing, the way Charlie Hunter's playing, the way they bring in jazz artists like Roy Hargrove to play R&B, all these things I really liked, so of course Russell Elevado tracked my first session, so Vanguard, It's All Over Your Body have his sound, and of course Pino and Chris are in D'Angelo's band anyway, so, and also Glasper, not everybody knows that he plays with Maxwell, so they're very comfortable with that, and that's important language to us, and ladies like it too, so.
Et finalement, donc Chris Daddy Dave et Robert Glasper ramènent une petite touche hip-hop. You think that?
Absolutely, absolutely. Which I wanted, yeah.
Your sword and gun, lay down your soldier's arms.
Quel effet ça fait de sortir son troisième album chez Blue Note, qui est un gros label de jazz music?
Well, to me, Blue Note is not only the premier jazz label in the world. It is now, to me, it's one of the best music labels in the world, because you have legends. You have Anita Baker, you have, alongside with Robbie Coltrane and now Wayne Shorter again. It's like there's a lot of history and a lot of documenting of musical integrity is how I like to think of it. So to be on that and also to be able to release a year after Robert Glasper is a real accomplishment for me. I feel very blessed to have so much support as an artist that Blue Note is showing me. So it's going to be a good year for Blue Note.
Lorsqu'on écoute José James, ce qui marque, c'est la voix. Elle marque, elle impressionne. Et je voulais savoir, d'ailleurs, souvent il y a le mot crooner qui revient. Crooner. Et je voulais savoir quels étaient les artistes qui t'avaient marqué, influencé.
I think for this particular album, definitely Marvin Gaye. Because Marvin, he was never shouting. He was very subtle. He was gonna seduce you with his voice, with his words. He's gonna break you down. He's like the dude, sweet talking a girl, like, not hey, but quiet and gentle, and if that works, that's what lasts forever. You know what I'm saying? So that is the style I like, because something about when you're subtle, it can draw people in more. You know what I mean? And that action of people being drawn in emotionally, then you make a real connection that's lasting.
Do I have to go away from my home? And where will I go?
Sur cet album, justement, le troisième album, il y a la chanteuse Hindi Zahra qui participe, qui fait un featuring avec toi, qui collabore avec toi. Est-ce que tu peux nous raconter cette rencontre?
She's, I think she's like me. She's between two worlds, And when I first heard her music, I loved it immediately. I first heard the Beautiful Tango song, and thought, wow, like she's got the Berber, North African, Moroccan vibe, and combined with Parisian feelings and playing. And then obviously she really liked soul music, And I was like, oh, she likes Lauryn Hill too. So it was cool to kind of feel like I had a kindred spirit in music. We met in London through a friend. Hassan Hajjaj is a great artist who did her album cover, and he did Black Magic album cover as well.
Okay.
So he introduced us. I was able to sing with her at the Jazz Cafe in London. We did Waiting in Vain by Bob Marley. And it was just like a great connection. So we connected on a world music vibe first. And she was first on my list of people I wanted to write with. So that was the first session I did here in Paris, actually, back in April 2011. That's when I started recording the album.
Il me semble que j'ai vu quelques informations sur toi, je cherchais un petit peu, je fouinais, et apparemment, avant tu rappais. Et je veux savoir en fait pourquoi tu avais arrêté.
It's not true.
True.
But I used to want to rap though. I used to want to rap. I mean, like everybody in high school wants to rap. Every kid, like, you know, walks up with this, you know, doing the thing. But I definitely had zero talent as a rapper. So thankfully, jazz came and saved me. Otherwise, I would have had no musical career.
Et justement, avec ce troisième album, qu'est-ce que tu aimerais que le public retienne?
Well, I think the most important thing,
you.
About this CD in particular, about the CD itself, is that this is a real artistic statement. This is 100% art. You know, I produced it myself. There was no label involved. There was no A&R saying, Jose, I think you should maybe do this or do that. Maybe you should work with this producer. I don't know if that's the right choice. You know, it was none of that energy. So it's really me having the freedom, really for the first time in my life, to fully express myself. So, you know, I want people to know that this is really coming from my heart, from my mind, from my spirit. I spent my own money on it. You know, it took me 2 years to do it, and I'm really proud of it. And I hope people enjoy it and can get uplifted and excited about doing something similar in their own life, taking that control, because I've had amazing results, and I'm sure that they will too. So I hope it inspires people.
And all the time that I used to know, it's gone away like a river's flow. Yeah.
Et en fait, je voulais savoir qu'est-ce que tu pensais du public français, parce que je crois qu'il y a quelques mois, quelques semaines, tu es passé au New Morning. Apparemment, je crois que tu as fait un show de 3 heures, il me semble. Donc voilà, la question c'est, que penses-tu du public français?
I love it. I always have the best response. I mean, when everybody asks me, where's your best audience crowd in the world? I say Paris, man, because people get it, you know what I mean? I don't know if it's different for other artists, but I know from my experience, I can go in one set, I can do Freestyle Fellowship, Coltrane, and Emily King, and people are like, yeah, I get it, I get you. To me, the audience, my audience here in France, is very intelligent, very smart, music lovers, very passionate about what they love. And I got nothing but love. That's why when I came, I played a 3-hour concert, because the audience was showing me so much love. I was only supposed to play an hour and a half, but I gave twice as much because they gave that much.
Je vais te donner quelques mots, ou même quelques noms. Tu me diras un petit peu ce que tu en penses, ou à quoi ça te fait penser. Si je te dis Gilles Peterson.
Gilles Peterson, genius, man. Musical selector. Genius at selecting, you know, the best of the world. Yeah.
Flying Lotus.
Genius again, man. I mean, you know, genius from a family of geniuses. You know what I mean? Alice Coltrane is one of my heroes. Lotus, for me, has been one of the few musical artists in my time who have actually really done something important, you know, on a major scale, have changed music. I feel that strongly about his stuff.
Et hip-hop? What about the hip-hop?
Hip-hop, lifeblood, you know? I mean, there's so many days I don't think I could have gone on without putting on, you know, I mean, there's so many bands, you know, so many groups, you know, Tribe Called Quest, Ice Cube, you know what I mean? Beastie Boys, like my whole soundtrack of my childhood growing up, becoming a man was defined by hip hop in so many ways.
Mm.
My voice gon' let my spirit work it out. We gon' make it right. We gon' get together. Oh my heaven, no. We gon' take it high.
2013.
2013, it's my year.
It's your year.
It's the year of the snake in the Chinese.
Snake? Is the snake?
Yeah, it's the snake
Okay.
year.
Huh?
That's me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the fire snake. That's the most dangerous one.
Okay.
So,
Peux-tu nous parler un peu du Panama? Parce que il me semble que tu es originaire du Panama ou tu es peut-être né là-bas.
well, for me, it's very complicated on my father's side because I can't trace it back that much because of the African diaspora. So we don't know where in Africa that his family's from. All I know is that they ended up in the Caribbean, Grenada, and migrated to Panama because they're digging the Panama Canal. And there was a lot of work, you know, so that's how he ended up there. So for me, it's complicated because I don't feel so connected to Panama as a culture because I know it was only one part of my family's story. I think my grandfather was actually born in Panama, but his father was from the Caribbean.
Okay.
And then, you know, who knows after that point. So for me, it's not so much about place. Maybe it's because I'm an American too, when we don't have the same sense, I think a lot of people do. But for me, it's all about the whole journey, you know, the whole struggle that, you know, his people, my ancestors, had to go through to get to all the way to the place of me, you know. So I feel it as more of a spiritual force, you know, that doesn't matter if it's like Peter Tosh said, as long as you're a black man, you're African. I don't get caught up in, are you Latino, are you black, it's like, it's all the same.
Okay.
Cuban. But that said, Panamanians look good. Okay. So I like to,
Okay.
yeah.
What is your word of the end?
Always love.
Love. Love, love, love.
Love, man.
Yeah.
Love. Honestly, I feel like we'll never agree on politics and culture. We'll always have differences around the world. But love, everywhere I go, you can relate to people through love. People want love. People need it. They've lost it. They're looking for it. Something, you know what I mean? And that's how you can make real connections across any divide.
Thank you.
Thank
man.
you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations for your album.
Thank you.
Nice to see you maybe on the scene.
My pleasure,
Live?
man. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
My voice gon' let my spirit work.